Hey, what's up YouTubers? Lee John Blackmore here at Super Easy Guitar. So this week I'm going to give you 5 tips on what to play next. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but the amount of emails I've had from you guys asking me, what should I play? What should I play next? And all this kind of thing. And yeah, I kind of know what you're asking. You're asking what specific things should I play to help me improve to the next level? And it's something I've been working on in the background. I'm working on a course in the background that hopefully it'll help you with this, okay? But for the meantime, let's get back to basics, okay? So the very first thing, hopefully, depending on you might be brand new to the guitar, you might have played guitar years ago and you've picked it back up again. But the foundations are always exactly the same, and I always go back to basics to get good at things I can't do. All right. So to start off with, if you're new at guitar, just learn a bunch of riffs. You know, they could be anything really simple, just on one string. This kind of thing, right? You know, you can do the easy version, all this kind of stuff, right? You've heard them 1,000 times, but they're worth learning because they'll teach you how to move around the fretboard. They'll teach your fingers to toughen up, and you'll learn hand-finger coordination. Okay, there's all sorts of things you can take from learning these little riffs. Okay, and especially you know, if you want to get into the more technical side of playing the guitar, especially kind of soloing and things like that, it's good to start with a pick as well. All right, and you can learn how to do down up strokes. So this kind of thing is super important. So if one of those things I've mentioned you're not very good at, then you know what to do next, okay? Whether it be working on some little riffs or working on your picking, okay? Now, tip number 2, one of the first songs I ever learned, or one of the first songs I ever wanted to learn, I had this neat, I heard this song, it was like amazing. I was like, how do I play this? This is from another planet. Well, I couldn't do it. I couldn't play the intro because it was super difficult. Any guesses what that is? It's probably banned from most music stores around the world now. Well, that's not really true, but yeah, if you know what it is, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get this demonetized, this video. But you can put a comment in the box below if you know what it is. And yeah, so I couldn't play the intro on that, but what I could do is work out the chords, and that way I could learn the song, and I could learn to kind of play along, and I could learn to sing and play as well, which was very important to me. I always wanted to be able to sing these songs and play along with them, okay? So that's something I would suggest to you guys. Fall in love with a song, and you know, don't just learn random stuff. Yeah, of course, it's really good to learn like 3-chord songs and 10 easy 3-chord songs, as you know I've done. But a song that you might think is too difficult for you, but give it a go. There's always a simplified version somewhere. I might have it on my channel. Otherwise, there's tons of resources online, okay? Don't always start with the intro. Like me, you know, I couldn't play that intro. It was too difficult. So, you know, I went to like the chorus or the verse in my case, and just learnt the verses, went through to the chorus, and eventually when I retained some better skills, then I moved on to playing the intro and stuff like that, okay? So, tip number 3. Should I learn all the notes on the fretboard? People ask me this all the time. Well, it is going to help, for sure, because if you know all the notes and you know the scales or whatever, you're giving yourself more tools to be creative. And the more tools you have, the more options you have of being creative. So yeah, but it's not something I ever did. I never sat down and learnt all the notes. Perhaps I should have. Maybe I'd be even better now. Well, I know them now, but that's just kind of through playing, okay? So yeah, there's, you know, you can do that if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, for sure. If you want to play with other people, I think it's very important to know the chord names. The amount of times that I've had students come and sit down with me and they know this shape and this shape, which is great, but they just didn't know what they were called. And it's always good to know what notes make up a chord. So learn the triad. So if you don't really understand what I mean by a triad is just a basic chord is made up of a triad, and it has 3 notes in it: a first, a third, and a fifth. Okay, if we were to take the G chord and we played each note individually, that would be the first. Okay, that would be G, and I know that's G because E, F, F sharp, G. Okay, then the next note I would hit would be B. Okay, now B, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the third would be B. Then we end up with an open D, right? So that's going to be the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that note is D. So the triad to G major is G, B, and D. And you're probably asking me what are the other notes? Well, we've just got a repeat there. G, B, and G. Okay, so that's what a triad is. Tip number 4. Should I learn scales? Well, they're going to help you. If you learn scales, they're definitely going to help you later on down the line. They're going to help you learn chords better. So yeah, I would definitely say learn scales, but don't just learn them. Learn to play them and have fun with them. And I'm always talking about the pentatonic scale. And doing some blues or some rock, and it just makes things a bit more interesting, you know? So don't just learn the A minor pentatonic and I've done like 10 blues riffs and stuff like that you can play. And they make the pentatonic sound so much more interesting. Okay, so scales will help you learn more complicated things, and they'll broaden your thinking when it comes to music. You'll think about it in different ways. So yeah, I think it's very important to learn scales. However, when I was learning, I'm self-taught, I never really sat down and learned scales, and at some point someone said to me, oh, can you play this or whatever? And I was like, well, yeah, I already kind of knew it, but I just didn't know the name, right? So I should have studied that, and it would have saved me a lot of hassle when I was playing with other people and being able to communicate. Okay, so yeah, go away and learn them, but use them. Pull a backing track up on YouTube. Just, you know, if you're learning E minor pentatonic, type into the Google or whatever search engine you use, you know, backing track, blues in the key of E minor, slow perhaps to start off with, and just have a go at playing along. Make sure your guitar's in tune. That's one of the main things that I should have said at the beginning of the lesson. Also, before I move on to the last tip, when I was learning the guitar and I didn't really know what scales were, I remember listening to this song by Guns N' Roses called Double Talking Jive, and it was like on one of their later albums, like the Use Illusion 2, maybe, no, Use Illusion 1, I can't really remember, maybe 1. And there was this kind of mysterious sounding kind of guitar, and I was like, what is that? It's like Spanishy or something. And I was obsessed with this sound. I was like, why does that sound so good? What is it? Why doesn't it sound like blues? And I later went out, you know, when I worked out what notes he was playing, I realized this was called a harmonic minor scale, and the harmonic minor scale gives you this kind of Spanishy, kind of Egyptian or Arabic kind of feel, you know, and it's something I absolutely love, this kind of music, and it's just stayed with me ever since. And so scales don't have to be, you know, the do, re, mi. They don't have to be that. They can be mysterious and interesting. so on. Okay. So finally, tip number 5. Can I play a guitar solo as a beginner? Of course you can. There's no rules in guitar. There's no rules in music. Do what you like. If you want to improve like quick, if you want to get good quickly, then follow the steps. You know, there's a reason why all these guitarists talk about following the steps and creating a foundation, is because it will help you improve quicker. I was terrible because I'm self-taught and I didn't necessarily have the resources as a kid. I had lots and lots of flaws, and I still do today, that I'm still trying to fix. Don't go down that path. It might seem like you're doing the right thing at the time, but actually you might be hindering yourself. You might be teaching yourself some really bad mistakes. So yeah, of course you can go away and learn guitar solos. Some people might pick them up quicker than others, but very rarely have I seen beginners play guitar solos in time. I see people sending me videos of stuff they've learned from my channel, and they're great. They've got all the notes correct, which is great, but they forget about timing and feel. Now, not all of my not all of my videos are full of great timing or feel, but you know, I would love to see you guys play it better than me. That's the idea, right? That's the idea. So you become better. But it's just something to think about. So if you have, if you're good at a couple of chords, you know, play them really well in time, and you know, make them sound really nice, and learn some scales, and again, make them sound really nice, play them in time, and as things come together, you'll find you're able to play little intros and little solos, and it'll come together, and you start building on these little techniques that you need, like bends or hammer-ons and pull-offs, you know, that will help you when it comes to learning more complicated guitar solos. You're already going to have the skills there, okay? So I think, you know, what I'm saying is, to just to round off the video, it's all about building things in stages, getting good at little things at a time. And yeah, and some people frown upon going off to different YouTube channels and different YouTube videos and not having like a program. Well, yeah, but if it's fun doing that, going around and learning random things, yeah, but as long as you know to advance in a certain direction, it's very good to have a program. But there's nothing wrong with going off and learning random things or whatever. If it's fun, do it, okay? So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's tips lesson. I know it's a little bit different, but I should be back to normal next week. And if you have any requests, please fire them over to me over Instagram or Facebook. I'll do my very best to get back to all of you. And I'll see you again the same time next week. Enjoy.